But it's not like every day is perfect. But I just feel so much more equipped than I've ever been to deal with the emotions.
Ladies and gentlemen,
you are now about to witness
the journey that is the Lyfe Choyces podcast.
Yeah! Pete,
Yo.
being that you are overly successful right now, which is so phenomenal, I'm so happy, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You are literally diving into not just your craft as a tattoo artist, but you're diving into what is so important right now in 2025, which is the social media grind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk about the importance of it and how you got to the point where you are literally posting daily. You're getting over 1 million views. You're gaining 10,000 people in subscription base. How is it going? How did it start?
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny how much social media has become a huge part of my life now. Especially being someone who, like, I consider myself to be somewhat like shy and introverted. I'm not like someone that naturally feels comfortable on camera. But it's something that I realized from the very beginning, 5 years ago of starting my own business, that it was something I was going to have to do, because that's how, in today's day and age, you market yourself and you build a brand and grow a business. It is primarily done through social media. And so it's something that I've been working on for years, 5 years. And I've gone through ups and downs of being consistent with it, and done a lot of research over the years on, how to successfully grow a page on social media. But I've always struggled with just being consistent and showing up every day long term with the posting. And for anyone that's ever had any success on social media, that's really the main thing that they preach, is consistency and just posting and showing up every single day. And so over the last year and a half, I would say, I've really started to take it much more serious. Here's what I'm going to transition to. Since the start of this new year, I've really made a point to stop slacking, for lack of a better term, and show up every day and post consistently, because I know ultimately that's what it comes down to. But also, it's been like showing a lot of my own personality and getting comfortable talking on the camera, because for years I've just been uploading like the classic tattoo B-roll videos that we all do, where it'll be like a clip of me setting up, a clip of me doing the stencil peel, and then the tattoo reveal at the end. And those are still very important for like showing your portfolio, and that's still like a regular rotation of my videos. But the thing that's really taken off is just me talking to the camera and showing my personality. And I think that that's been such a game changer, mainly because there's no shortage of like talented tattoo artists in South Florida. And so the main way that we set ourselves apart now is as individuals, because you can go to a lot of places around here and get a great tattoo, but people want to know before they show up or before they even inquire who they're dealing with. And especially for some of these, now I'm doing a lot of bigger pieces and people are spending 6 to 8 hours a day with me. They want to know that like that money that they're investing and that time that they're investing into that experience is going to be with someone that is going to vibe well with them and provide a good experience.
People want to connect with their tattoo artists on a much bigger level nowadays than they did, let's say, 30 years ago when I first started getting tattoos.
Yeah, absolutely.
You are doing something that is so important right now. We are, I believe, first time in my life, 47 years, that I've seen such a large amount of people that want to enjoy the human experience with other people. Mm-hmm. They want to get to know the person that they're going to go spend time with. A lot of people are afraid to share who they are. They feel more comfortable when they see other people doing it. Yeah, that's absolutely. Why people like yourself and I, who live a certain lifestyle of gratitude, and we share what we do for manifestation, people are flowing towards those individuals. Mm-hmm. And you taking, like you're saying, you're an introvert, but you're being an extrovert on camera is opening up so much more for people. They get to see who you are. They get to learn who you are before they show up, and they get to understand you as an individual, not just a tattoo artist. Mm-hmm. As we've talked about before off screen, tattooing or getting a tattoo can be very intimidating.
Right.
The old way of doing it, going into a shop, very rough guys tatted all up, and there's usually a guy in the chair that's like half covered already getting more ink done, and you might be coming in for your first tattoo and you're just kind of like apprehensive about it.
Right.
you're breaking down those barriers. And for what I've been seeing over the past 3 months, from today we're recording, in the previous 3-4 months, you have literally dove into putting as much effort into your social media content as you have, as I've known you to do with your own personal life, on how you have created the reality that you wanted and that you now live.
Yeah.
And that's huge, because your clientele, or people that don't know you, see your posts, because you're reaching a much larger volume of community now. People see that, and they get to read what you're vulnerably giving them about yourself, so they feel comfortable before they walk into your studio.
Yeah, that's been a really cool part of this too. And like, you know, a huge thing that I try to focus on when making this content or making these videos is like trying to remain authentic. Because the whole point is for people to get to know me before they even step in the door. And a big way that I've been doing that lately is just writing these captions where I don't know, just really like sharing what's on my mind. And lately it's been a lot of gratitude and appreciation for like the life that I'm living now, because I'm like literally living the life that I dreamt about 5 years ago, and I can't help but feel really stoked on that. And so I love sharing that, and it's just been cool to see how quickly now I'm developing these friendships and relationships with the people that walk through the door, because I've already been so vulnerable to them through my content that they come in and they feel really comfortable sharing stories of, you know, their past or what they're dealing with, or, you know, things that are going good for them in their life or things that are going bad for them in their life, or even just the DMs that I get from people saying that like something that I said that day resonated with them. Like, it feels really cool and nice and fulfilling to, I don't know, be able to do something somewhat positive with the little bit of attention that I'm getting. Besides, you know, it's ultimately promoting my business, but I would love to be able to share a piece of this feeling that I have every day with the people that participate in my content.
It's not just promoting your business. Yes, you have a tattoo company, and yes, you want to make a living out of it, and yes, you want to live a certain lifestyle, but you are an individual like myself. We enjoy helping people.
Absolutely.
We enjoy seeing people feel as happy as we do doing the things that we do. So if we're able to do that through our media, through our means of talent, whatever that might be, whatever your content or artistry might be, you're able to help somebody. And I have to imagine that on a regular basis, you get those DMs where someone just says thank you. And as you haven't even given them a tattoo, you've just shared who you are as a tattoo artist and as an individual in your captions, because I read them. And you know, they resonate with me regularly because I go through very similar things, highs and lows. And you're just developing such a great community for yourself that the wonderful byproduct of it. We've always said this: do the work. The money's the byproduct. Don't worry about the money being the reason why you're doing it. Do it for the love of what you do, for all aspects of that. And the byproduct is going to be financial abundance, a great career, a good, healthy mindset. And you have all that being cultivated because of the work you're doing. You live a life of gratitude, manifestation, laws of attraction. We talk about this all the time. But what most people don't understand is the level of work that you need to do as an individual daily on all of those aspects. It's not just those things that you do that creates the life you have. It's the actual work that you're doing.
Yeah,
you are grinding every day at giving people social media content that they're going to enjoy digesting and want to be part of. So you've like not just doubled down and grinded on the social media. You've created a larger community for yourself to create a larger business for yourself.
Thank you, man.
You have literally reinvested time, mentality, and money into yourself.
Thank you. And yeah, that's been a huge part of the journey is, I mean, I preach the law of attraction and the gratitude list over and over again, but a huge part of manifesting is the work that goes in beyond just writing it onto a piece of paper. And something that I've shared a lot lately is just, I've realized that work has been sort of the best part. That's what's turned me into the person that I am, you know, and that's what just makes me feel better equipped to go through life. Because like you're saying, there's ups and downs. Like my life is amazing, but it's not like every day is perfect. But I just feel so much more equipped than I've ever been to deal with the emotions and the struggles and and the ups, you know, like it's easy to get up and fuck that up too, you know, like I don't know. It's the journey has made me exactly who I am in every aspect. And the hardest parts of it have been some of the most rewarding.
Yeah. But it's also the fact that you have reinvested into yourself. And I know that when people are venturing down any type of career, whether they're starting a podcast, they want to become a cosmetic TikTok influencer, a tattoo artist, you need to reinvest time and money into yourself. And that's not always an easy thing. Like I know for myself, finding that $50 or that $100 when I first started reinvesting to things, what was a bit apprehensive, like, am I going to get what I want out of this? Like, is it going to be worth the 100? Do I have the 100? I remember a couple years back, you started doing these sort of things. And we've talked about 𝐿𝐼 in the past with his school that he does. You reached out to someone a long time ago to have as a mentor.
Yeah, right. About 1.5 years ago. So, I mean, I started tattooing 5 years ago and I'm pretty much self-taught. I didn't go the normal route of like getting an apprenticeship, you know, shadowing someone for a year or so before I started tattooing myself. I just kind of dove right in. I had a crazy roommate, shout out to Kevin, who would let me practice on him. And, and I figured it out on my own, you know, for the most part. And, I continued to learn and grow and try to absorb as much as I could from, you know, relationships that I had made throughout the years and just the access to information online. But for the most part, still just kind of self-regulating and self-teaching for the first 4 years of my career. But listening to Alex Hormozi a lot, actually, something that he preaches constantly is like, if there's people who are living the life that you want to live, that's who you should be learning from and surrounding yourself with. And so obviously over the years, I've found many artists that I look up to and whose work I admire. And there's this guy 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞 in Delaware at the time who offered, you know, started doing a mentorship program virtually. And I signed up for that. And it wound up being a game changer for me. Like it completely changed the work that I was doing. And honestly, I didn't expect it to. Like I thought he was going to just have some sort of, the only reason I signed up was because he had like 150,000 followers and he does good tattoos. And I was hoping he had some social media secret that he was going to just share with me that would make me take off. And then sure enough, on that first phone call, he looks at my page. He's like, yeah, man, like you do really good videos. Just keep doing that every day. And I was like, ah, man, that was really not what I was hoping. There was like a secret hashtag that just unlocked new followers. But that wasn't the case. And it wound up, I didn't think I was going to learn a lot about tattooing over Zoom, but and I was like already happy with the tattoos that I was doing, but it wound up making a huge difference in the tattoos that I was doing. I completely changed my style and technique, and it's taken me to a whole new level as an artist, honestly. And I'm doing tattoos that I never thought that I would be able to do. You know, like I would see people do portraits and faces and go like, man, they're fucking magic, you know, and now that's like my preferred thing to do. And it's just a little surreal, but it's also taught me that I think I can really just learn any skill, at least when it comes to tattooing. Like if I want to be one of the best in the world, I just want to learn from all the best people in the world. And I don't think there's really any style that I can't figure out and learn if I am given the tools, you know?
If you have the basic technique to do something, whether you're a beauty makeup artist or a nail technician or a tattoo artist, you have the basic understanding. Of course, you can learn from anybody. You can train your body to do all the different aspects of that job. The great thing that you said there was what you expected to get from reinvesting into yourself by getting this person's workshop was not actually what you received, but yet you received something much bigger and much better that moved your career in a much different direction, which obviously grew to you loving to do new styles of tattoo work.
Yeah.
So you might be apprehensive about investing in yourself or investing into a workshop because you're not you're worrying too much about what you might not get from it, instead of thinking that no matter what happens, there's going to be something that's good that comes out of this eventually. It might not be right away. You might not even know it. It might just come unexpectedly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's important if you are going to be going into a program or something like that to be open-minded and be coachable. Because, I mean, the very first phone call that I did with the guy, he looked at my tattoos and he's like, oh man, do you always do this like dot work style? And I was like excited to tell him like, yeah, for the last 4 years, that's all I've done. And he's like, yeah, I'd completely forget about all of that and start doing this instead. And at first I was kind of like devastated because that was all my whole portfolio was that style. And he was like, it's really hard to pull that off. And I'm like, is he saying I'm not pulling it off? Like, I was kind of hurt by it. But at the same time, I had just paid him thousands of dollars to give me advice. So I was like, I guess I should take his advice that I'm paying for, you know? And so I did. And it wound up being the best thing I ever did. It completely changed my work. And I'm doing the best tattoos I've ever done in my whole career. But I could have had an ego about it and been stubborn and not changed anything at all. And it would have been a waste of money, and
it would have been a waste of your time because you would have then been not likely to sign up for any more.
Sure. And so that being said, that one investment was so beneficial and so worth it that I've just continued over the last year and a half or so, signing up for every masterclass or seminar or course that anyone that I look up to in this industry releases. And it just continues to be worth it over and over again, you know? And it's kind of funny that you brought up that point earlier too, because most of the time I don't take away the thing that I think I'm going to take away from it, you know? It might even just be that I pick up on a little thing here or a technique there or some little trick of the trade that I've never thought about before, because I've really never worked in a traditional shop with other artists, you know? Everything that I've learned, it's kind of just been on my own over the years and figuring it out. And I'm not even talking about tattoo techniques now, but just even like the way you set up your station, the way that you book appointments and organize, you know, like.
But I think what you've done, and I've said this to you before at your shop, I'm not saying you're changing the whole industry, but I think what you're doing, for anyone out there that might look at you, for anyone who's a young tattoo artist looking at what you're doing, and seeing the successes that you have by creating an environment of a one-on-one situation for tattooing, both the guest and yourself, it's a different experience. Like I've said, over 30 years, I've been going into tattoo shops and getting ink done. All of them are pretty much identical. The person's different, but the shops are pretty much cookie cutter of what they're offering, where you have a single area, large space, very welcoming, very well decorated and designed, which you did all yourself. You know, I've seen way back when, you know, you doing the floor and painting and everything like that. Sure, I had a couple of hands help you put the lighting up because that's not easy. But you created a new atmosphere for tattoo artists that can understand that there is a possibility to be self-taught. There's a possibility to create a revenue stream that you can support yourself, more than support yourself. You have to put in the work and the effort. You have to have the talent. Those are just ingredients you have to have.
Sure.
But you've created a new idea, because I still go to other tattoo shops. Like TJ, you know, wants to get a tattoo on a day that, like, you know, most people are closed, and we find a shop and, you know, they have good customer service, like you're saying, is important, and nice art on the wall. But it's completely different than that one-on-one connection.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love that you've done that. And I love that you still stay with it. Like you haven't chosen to go back and create an environment where you have multiple artists in your shop. You like the one-on-one private session. You're creating a following. I can't even imagine how many followers you actually have on social media now, but you have a large community on Instagram and on TikTok who are getting to know you as an individual. And that angle, that particular way of creating your company in the most genuine and authentic way that you do it, because that is you. Like you here, you outside of filming, and you on social media, that's the same Pete across the board. Like there's no difference to me.
Thank you.
You know, so you're creating this area of safety for people to come into a situation that would otherwise be a bit intimidating.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're doing it in such a wonderful way that you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable. You're reinvesting in a emotional way, not just a financial way by taking workshops and learning from the best in your industry, but you're creating an environment by giving yourself to your viewership, so that when they first approach you, whether it's a DM or they somehow see you out in public, they already feel comfortable with you. You're creating a whole new atmosphere for tattoo artists to create their revenue stream. And for us, the clientele, you're creating a wonderful, safe area for us to feel comfortable to go manipulate our body.
Well, thank you so much, man. That means a lot. And yeah, that's absolutely the intention. And And like you touched on before you said all of that, it's not like I think I'm the only one providing an experience like this or creating content like this, but it is definitely nice to see the industry going in that direction where it is much more about the client experience and making that as special of an experience as possible, versus what the tattoo industry was many years ago, where it was not necessarily customer service driven in any way, shape, or form. And the like death metal, scary dungeon like room with a ton of people working in it and it just being loud, crazy machines and chaos. Those days, I mean, I guess they're still here. You can definitely still find shops like that. But the private studio, high-end, elevated experience is definitely here to stay, I think. And I'm happy to see the industry going in that direction.
I think it's a big reason why you yourself as an individual, I know you've been paid to travel to go do work for somebody outside of the state of Florida. And it's also the reason why people, whether they are flying in from a different state or driving in from the same state, come to you to make like a special event out of coming to get a tattoo from you.
Yeah, that's been super cool, to be honest. The last 4 months or so since like things kind of taking off on social media, it's been really cool to see people willing to travel in from other states and even just, you know, drive. Someone just came from Maine the other day, dude, and he drove 22 hours.
Damn.
Fucking nuts. But also, I just had a couple come from like 2.5 hours away, and the wife was getting a tattoo, but the husband came as well, and they got a hotel for a couple days, and just made like a little mini vacation out of it, you know, and turned it into like a whole experience. And while they were in town, they were like asking for places that they could go to dinner that night. And so I sent them to 𝐸_Bradley's because my boy Kevin was working, and I was able to send them a round of drinks and an appetizer. And like, I feel like it was really nice to be able to just go like above and beyond and do something to make that trip that much more memorable, not just because she's going to leave with a tattoo that she'll have forever, but that tattoo memory will be a really positive experience all around.
It's not just the tattoo experience they got to have with you. They got to have a human experience with you as an individual.
Yeah, man. It's been very cool.
That is so important right now. There's so many people that are out there looking for that type of level of an experience, not just to go in and for the rest of their life say like, oh yeah, I got this tattoo, it means this. No, that couple gets to say, we found this guy on Instagram and we liked who he was and we loved his artwork. We took a chance and drove to him for a weekend. We met him and he was the exact same as he was on social media. And he even did one step above that. And when we left, he sent us to another restaurant. We show up there, we got appetizers from him because it was his friend. That like that's just like a total different human experience that they got to have. And that's remarkable.
It's cool. It's something that I really don't take lightly, that the day that people come in, and especially now with the work that I'm doing, a lot of it is like large scale pieces and people are investing thousands of dollars and large chunks of their body are being modified. That's something that they're going to remember for the rest of their life regardless. And it's really important to me for that to be like an overwhelmingly positive memory. Because I don't take, like, it's a special thing that they're trusting me with, you know, and it's also just a special position that I'm in to have that ability to like give someone something that they're going to carry for the rest of their life. And I could, for me, it's just another day at work and I could treat it that way. But to that person in the chair, it's something that they're going to remember forever. And I really would like for that to be like a very special memory for everyone that comes in.
And they're gaining. I think anyone that goes to you nowadays is gaining even more from you as a tattoo artist, because where you once were 5 years ago to where you are now, let's look at like just the past year or two, you've invested so much time and energy into creating a better you, into becoming a better artist by investing in getting all of these other workshops and lectures and I have to imagine conventions or whatever they might be that you go to. And these things are not inexpensive.
No. Yeah. And I mean, that's something that I'd like to touch on too. Like I was saying before, it's been worth it every time. And so I continue to just double down and reinvest. And I want to continue to learn from as many people as I can. And even now at this point in my career, a year and a half later from doing that first mentorship, I'm doing the best tattoos that I've ever done in my life. My social media is getting more engagement than it's ever gotten in the length of my career. And I'm still I'm still reinvesting, and I'm still learning and still trying to be coachable. You know, Tattoo Panda, he's like the best at micro realism in the world.
I do follow him on Instagram.
He's someone I've looked up to my entire career. For the first couple years of my career, I was doing a lot of micro realism, and there's no one that literally does it better than that guy. And so a couple weeks ago, he announced he was going to do a 2-day seminar with only 5 artists, and I jumped on it instantly. I'm super stoked because, I mean, that's someone, again, he's the best at what he does in this industry. If one day I want to see myself be the best, like I was saying earlier, you got to surround yourself and learn from the people who have the career and the life that you want. And I'm just going to continue to do that until it's not worth it, because every single time that investment's paid off. And
more than you can imagine.
More than I can imagine. And even on the social media side too, I just signed up this month for a social media coach, where it could be so easy for me to have the opposite mindset of like, I'm doing the best tattoos I've ever done. My social media is popping. You can't tell me shit, you know?
Yeah, and you could just stay here.
And I could stay right here, because that's exactly what I did for the first 3 years of my career. I progressed slowly, and I got better. My tattoos improved, and my brand was building incrementally. But once I started getting coaching and getting advice and taking it, you know, insight from these people who have been doing it twice as long as I have, and have made more mistakes than I have, and have learned lessons that I haven't learned yet because I haven't even gotten to that point, it's just a cheat code to advance myself that much faster, you know? And I'm almost mad that I didn't start doing it earlier, because in the last 12 months, I've grown so much as a person, an artist, my career, my brand, everything is exploding. And man, I wish I would have done this 4 years ago, you know?
I'll say this, and I say this anytime someone makes that comment. You're doing it at the time in which you need to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know me, I don't actually regret anything, but it would have been nice. My point in saying that is really just that it's so fucking worth it. And like I was saying, it would be so easy to have the opposite mindset of like, man, look at how fucking good I'm doing. I know it all. But I have the exact opposite feeling of like, my tattoos are the best they've ever been. How crazy would it be if they got even better? And my social media is growing so fucking fast. What if I got advice from someone who actually knows what they're talking about right now? And while I have this momentum, capitalize on it and run with that. And so this month alone, I've spent $11,000 on a social media coaching program and this Tattoo Panda seminar. And obviously that's a fucking lot of money. I'm not going to say that like I'm bragging, like that's not a small, like that's a small amount of money to me. It's a lot.
You're not bragging at all. 5 years ago, you were tattooing out of your apartment. I know that because I came and got a tattoo at your apartment.
That's right.
And you were only making X amount of money. You were doing it out of your house. You're 5 years then being the person that you are, living the life of manifestation and affirmations and just believing in yourself and creating the life that you want and living it as if you already have it. You did that 5 years ago, and you have that now. That's what you were doing. Back then, you were living this life as if you have this life. You have this life. Now this life allows you to spend $11,000 because you've busted your ass, not just mentally projecting and visualizing everything you wanted, but you put in the actions that were needed in order to get there. That's the part that people are missing.
Absolutely.
You can't just sit there and hum and visualize your life and it happens.
Right.
The work has to get done. It's not a flex. It's a proof in the pudding that if you do that for a period of time, you will live the life you've always wanted, where you can afford $11,000 reinvestment, your money back into yourself that will pay tenfold back to you, because I guarantee you in 5 years or less, you'll be the person that other tattoo artists are looking up to. You're the person that other Instagram influencers are looking up to and wondering, how did you get 7 million followers? How do you have a portfolio that's that big of tattoo? Where are you doing? Can you mentor me? Where can I go and sign up for a masterclass by 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭?
Yeah. That's absolutely the goal, man. And yeah, I mean, you nailed it. Like it's been crazy, bro. I literally do feel like I'm living the life that I was dreaming about 5 years ago. I mean, I know I am because it's all documented in notebooks. You know, I used to write about the exact life I'm living now for years. And I'm still doing exactly that. You know, it's not like just because I'm living my dreams now, the notebook gets closed. Like the goals keep growing, you know, like I'm very grateful and I'm very happy with where I'm at, but I'm still writing every day, and the numbers they just keep growing, you know? And
the numbers you want and the numbers you're receiving.
And I
keep growing.
know that, I just know that I'm gonna, like, there's no doubt in my mind that I'm gonna get there, and I think I'm gonna get there even faster than I'm imagining. You know, like, it's just every time. I think I'm in such a special place right now because of how everything is unfolding at the moment. It's just reminding me and reconfirming to me how well the law of attraction works and how magical that fucking notebook is for me. And that always just fuels me that much more, you know? Like, it's just...
It's an amazing... it's a much larger conversation, which we'll get into on the next episode.
Sure.
Because I'm with you on that with my daily practices that I talk so much about to everyone, and I like the 3 books that I have that I write in every day. You are living the life that you always dreamed about. You are in such a great position to attract everything that you want because of your undoubtable belief in all of it. The last thing I want to talk about today before we talk about that topic next week is you've gotten yourself now to a point where you are so successful that you are making a choice to relocate, correct?
Yeah.
From where your studio was and where you live.
Yeah.
And now you're coming down into, is this correct? The
Yeah,
West Palm Beach downtown area?
Yeah, so I've been living in North Palm for the last 2 years. The shop is in North Palm, just off North Lake. And I mean, I love the studio, to be honest, but I also miss downtown, you know, and like I get my haircut down this way. I mean, I worked down here for most of my life, and I've always lived on like the outskirts of downtown, but I've always dreamt of living in one of these really nice buildings downtown where you can just walk out your door and then walk to go get breakfast somewhere, or walk to go get lunch somewhere, or just walk 2 places. You know, I've never lived somewhere that I'm walking anywhere. And that lifestyle has just always appealed to me. I've like always wanted to do that. I've just really never been able to afford it. Very grateful, man. Very excited.
I'm so proud of you. Like
Thanks,
I'm
man.
so happy. I'm so fortunate to have someone that I know in my life that lives the same lifestyle that I do, that is literally creating everything he's ever wanted.
Thank you.
And understanding that there's a lot of work that, you know, a lot of daily work that it takes to get that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the fact that, you know, it does start off with first realizing who you are and what you want and what it is that you need to get or do to get there. And the fact that I see it, you know what I'm saying? Like
Thank
I
you.
see it in someone else. It just affirms everything that I try to share with people, that it's all possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all there for you. The universe wants you to succeed.
Absolutely. And that's something, you bringing that up again, like the daily work, I think is an important point that I meant to mention earlier, is like, it's true. Like I talk about manifesting so much, and a lot of people roll their eyes when they hear that word, but it's so much deeper than just thinking about positive thoughts, you know, and writing that gratitude list every day. It's deeper than just writing wishes on a piece of paper. But even just the practice of doing that every day
It's
is
a
more
start.
work than most people are willing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so roll your eyes all you want, but it's given me this life that I love so much. And it also just builds that discipline muscle, dude. Like since my last time coming on here, I was almost embarrassed watching back that episode because I was like, yeah, you know, gratitude this, gratitude this, that. I just wrote the other day, but I also looked at the date and I realized I hadn't written in a month. And you were like, oh, really? Wow, I'm really disciplined with it. I write every day. And I was like, fuck, I'm like the gratitude list guy. And I'm getting stunted on by what am I doing not writing every day, you know? And so since then, I don't know if I've missed a day.
That's awesome.
Holy shit, it's crazy how well it works. It's really not crazy. I know it, but it's crazy how well I know it and still find a reason to ever be in a slump and not write.
But it's going to happen, and that's what I want people to understand, is that we're human. You're going to have down times. It's going to happen. You're not always going to be up on cloud 9. But doing the practices that we've talked about before, and we'll get into it a lot more on the next episode, it's important to stay true to what you do every day with all aspects of your life, because the disciplinariness that you need to become successful in any aspect of life needs you to do the things that you need to do daily. It's not half-ass it. If you half-ass it, you'll be sitting there wondering, why do they have everything and I have nothing?
You get out what you put in.
100%. Pete, thank you very much for coming and sharing. Like I said, I'm so stoked. I'm so happy for you. I know every time we sit down, there's going to be new and better things going on in your life. I can see that you're happier, even more so than last time. I can see the physical growth, the mental growth. I'm just like so proud of you, man.
Thank you, man.
So
it means a
proud of
lot.
you.
Love you, bro.
Love you. Everyone out there, thank you so much for coming back each and every week. We love seeing you here on the Lyfe Choyces podcast. We'll see you next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Much love, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You are now about
The Journey, Life Choices podcast.